Okay, learning lessons from CSTs in Iraq.
Okay. The first few paragraphs are unclassified, and they wrote, I met recently with 5 analysts who just returned from serving in the first wave of cryptologic support teams deployed in Iraq. Although I knew I was going into the meeting that they had done. I knew going into the meeting that they had done much to assist our tactical forces in the region. I wanted to hear what they had learned on the job and what the SIGINT system can learn as well. And it continues unclassified. They told me that they had gained an appreciation for what timely means at a tactical level and highlighted the need for quick responses. The CSTers are cryptologic support teams. I'm going to try and say that instead of CST. Cryptologic support teams also learned that it's what it's like to deal with the NSA from the looking outside in, and how best to make the right connections at NSA to answer questions and resolve problems. They also witnessed the importance of translating SIGINT for the tactical commanders to help them understand how SIGINT could serve as the basis for military operations. What can NSA and the SIGINT system learn from their experience? One lesson is that the agency needs clearer POCs as anchor points for responding to requests from tactical units. This means developing a structured way of providing assistance that will not hinge upon the field representative having the right personal contacts at the agency. We can also identify the optimal training requirements for the CSTers, the cryptologic support teams, and deployers of all kinds, and the returnees are helping us do just that. I asked them to write a paper giving their observations, and I plan to provide that to the Army so that they can study it for lessons learned as well. And these cryptologic support teams also gave outstanding service to the NSA and to the customer. They each related to me that the tour made an indelible impression, yielding experiences that they'll never forget. I expressed my gratitude for their enormous contribution in helping leverage the 20,000 to 30,000 soldiers on the ground in each division as partners. And then we move to a secret paragraph that says in the past about 90% of tactical military operations in Iraq were based on HUMINT. Now the share attributable to SIGINT is much higher thanks to the efforts of SIGINTers deployed to the region, such as the cryptologic support teams, CSG elements working with the special forces, SIGINTers with MEF's 2nd Radio Battalion, and others. In the last 6 months, tactical units have captured, killed, or wounded tens of thousands of insurgent forces in Iraq. I think that's a really crazy number. And yeah, so and then it moves on to another unclassified paragraph saying, as the director has often noted, where we have people deployed, our SIGINT has meaning, otherwise our material is just in the inbox. The cryptologic support team participants, as well as all those who have volunteered for deployment forward, are helping the agency evolve into an expeditionary SIGINT force. I encourage all analysts to consider participating in deployments like this, where they can make a decisive contribution to our nation's efforts in Iraq. So Susie, did that number jump out at you as crazy as well? The thousands of insurgents they killed?
Yeah, I'm just going straight back to look at the date. So we're looking at September 2000. Oh no, sorry, February. We're on American date format.
Yeah.
February 2005. So we're still pre-surge, right? Like surge isn't like till 2007, the first surge. And that's 2007 is where things really go to shit in Iraq, like seriously go to shit. So that they already are killing and capturing what they call tens of thousands of insurgent forces. First of all, we know that they consider anybody of military age, I mean, even less, I think it's like age 13 or 14 or something ridiculous, isn't it? Until like 50 or 60.
Yeah.
They just can call them insurgent forces by default. So when they say captured, killed, or wounded tens of thousands, like it's pretty fair to say that a good chunk of that are just being rounded up in the house to house, and they just happen to fall in the age bracket. I don't for a second think that they have captured, killed, or wounded tens of thousands of like actual full-on insurgents. Like there's no way, like actual armed opposition. I mean, I don't even think there was that much armed opposition at this time in Iraq. Though we know Negroponte had just like hit the ground not long before. So this is heading into the time of the death squads, because it was after Negroponte became ambassador to Iraq, which we just covered in just a couple of sessions ago, his appointment. It was in the wake of him becoming ambassador that the Shiite death squads and whatnot started to show up. Negroponte was like the John Bolton of Iraq. Negroponte had been involved in a number of South American, Latin American countries that had also had death squads appear. It seems that where Negroponte goes, death squads soon arrive. And that was the rise in sectarian violence that eventually led to the surge, which then eventually led to even more sectarian violence and led to the emergence of ISIS. So when we're looking at these documents, we're still pre-ISIS and we're still pre-surge, but we're post-Negroponte's arrival in Iraq now.
Yes.
So Bremer is gone. Bremer and his golden Saddam Palace's office have gone, and Negroponte is there, and the death squads are going to start. Definitely. So it's quite a key moment in the history of the U.S. engagement in Iraq.
Yeah, and I think that when the NSA takes direct responsibility for that many tens of thousands of people killed, I think that's a really good point to use in writing about the devastation that they've been responsible for. And also, I just want to point out that while we were speaking about this, in chat, Fly mentioned that he couldn't find anything on Otras or Ostra. One second, I need to on Otras, and I couldn't either. So that may be something that is not publicized.
Did you search edwardsnowden.com?
I haven't yet, but a number of people, like a couple of people other than Fly and myself, have also searched for it. So I'm gonna look up.
Okay, yeah. Search edwardsnowden.com, guys. It's like your best source for document search.
If that's something that isn't publicized, it could be interesting to look into, I guess. But.
So the other thing here that was interesting is where they were talking about now that they're actually deploying NSA guys onto the ground in Iraq, a bigger share of these captures and kills is happening based on SIGINT rather than on human intelligence. There was another document that we studied that openly said that kill operations were being conducted on the basis of SIGINT alone, just on the SIGINT. And then we studied the specific programs, the specific targeting programs that were being used in Iraq. One of them, they were talking about wanting to deploy it globally. And you can find more information about that if you type in #DecipherYou on Twitter and then go to photos.
Okay.
And then scroll down.
I just looked
one. It's right here, but why stop there? Traffic thief.
Yeah, I remember that.
Critical link between SIGINT collection and ground operations in Iraq has helped enable the capture of several high priority counterterrorism targets, but why stop there? And then they talk about how they can roll it out around the world.
That's incredible.
And this is how military programs are used in capture kill operations can end up being domestic programs that are used against civilians.
Absolutely. And that's, yeah. But the Otras doesn't show up in edwardsnowden.com either at all, not even in the document that we looked at. Like no documents come up.
In that case, I would definitely make a note of that in our pirate pad.
I agree.
Okay, I've just made a note of that document.
It's actually, it's a Spanish word that means other. And so when I did look for it, all I could find were random Spanish language articles about the NSA. And then as soon as I clicked on them, they would translate. So I don't know if that has anything to do with why they use that acronym, but that's the only thing.
No, it's definitely an acronym. Definitely. Just not sure what yet.